So today I wanted to talk to you about rice. So I know a lot of you are concerned with portion sizes, and not necessarily controlling your portion sizes, but in that you don't feel like you get enough, and rice is one of those things where you feel like you have a very small portion size. So I had talked before about when I make out pre-portioned frozen meals for Matt to take to lunch or for Matt to eat to dinner, that our rice is brown rice, and he gets 1/3 heaping cup. So today I thought I would let you know what that looks like as you're actually making it and packaging it using the Food Saver. Because I know there were several of you that were interested in the Food Saver, and I thought I'd show you how it worked while I was doing this. In the comments below, I'm going to put the actual math on this, how you figure out how many carbs are in what, and a comparison between brown rice, white rice, jasmine, and basmati. So you can actually see what your choices are and then choose whatever you want. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so what we have here is Nishiki Premium Brown Rice.
Hold still.
We made this selection for a couple of reasons. Number one, the carb count is great. It has high dietary fiber, and it's also non-GMO. So I love that. So I have a little rice cooker here that Brennan bought me for Christmas, and I literally pour an entire bag of rice in it. You don't have to. You can measure it out by the package's recommendations. I also put in 5 cups of water because that's what my rice cooker needs. And it may vary for you, but you can read on the package exactly how many cups of water to rice that you need. So here I have rice that I've already cooked today, so we can kind of speed this process along. And then right next to it over here I have my Food Saver. So I've already sealed a couple of bags and cut them to the shape that I want them. You can buy pre-portioned bags so that you don't have to do that. So once I cut the bag, it looks like this. Press this button so that it only seals it and doesn't vacuum seal it. And it's going to take just a second. One of the things that I like about this is it's upright, it doesn't take a lot of space. And two, the instructions are here. It makes it very simple to remember if I haven't used it for a while. So now I have a sealed bag. So I take the rice, 1/3 of a cup, heaping. That's what heaping looks like.
Serena, would you like to show a comparison to what white rice would be as a portion for a diabetic?
It depends on what kind of white rice you actually buy, but to get the same carb count as what we have here, it would be about that much rice.
And that is why people don't eat rice.
So your choice becomes eat white rice that you're used to and that you like, and eat this much of it, or eat the heaping 30 cup that I just put in here. And this is a decent sized portion. And that's going to give you a nice amount of dietary fiber, a reasonable amount of carbs, and it's a starch for your meal. So it's a good thing. So I'm going to pop this in here, and let my rice is all in there. And it's going to be noisy. So, this has now been vacuum sealed. It's going to go in the freezer. And when Matt wants to eat rice, he's going to take it out frozen, throw it in his lunchbox, take it to work, and stab it with a knife a couple of times, put it into the microwave, and it's going to re-steam in the bag. It literally comes out of the freezer, he microwaves it, and it tastes like I just made it. There's no difference. So, awesome, because what happens is I'm not making a pot of rice that you can walk back and get 4 more cups of rice if you want it, or you can get another cup of rice. you have this portion. This is what's available to you. So it makes it very easy to make a good choice while you're eating. Because even if you're a little bit hungry afterwards, which isn't normal for Matt, but even if you are, 2 hours later you're getting a snack. That moment of discomfort isn't really worth making choices that actually harm you to the point that you can lose limbs or die. I'd like to see you all here for a while. So this is how we're doing it with rice. And like I said, in the comments below, you'll see some more information for you. So some additions you can make to brown rice. Some people are not fond of the taste, they don't like the texture, but they do like it in like for rice and beans, things like that. So I wanted to give you a couple of options. One of the things Matt does with the plain brown rice that I freeze is he puts taco sauce on it, which is great. This is going to add about 2 carbs to his meal. Package of the plain brown rice, 14.5 carbs. So instead of eating 14.5 carbs, he's eating 16.5 if he puts this on his rice. And we've built enough room into his diet that he can make those choices. What I'm going to do with this next batch of rice right here is add some no bean ancho chili, right? So if I'm going to make an addition like this, other than spices or herbs or something that has no carbs, no anything, I want to make sure that the calorie and carb count is comparable so that I don't have to change anything about my portion size or anything else, okay? You can do the complex math on it and figure out exactly what it's going to be. But this portion of rice is as small as it's ever going to get for Matt. If I have to give him less, it isn't worth giving him because he's not going to enjoy it. And I want him to be able to enjoy his food. So this right here, in a 1 cup portion has 360 calories. We're doing 1/3 of cup here, so that's 120. And it has 13 carbs. So if you break that down, it's about 4 carbs. So what's going to happen is this is actually going to reduce the amount of carbs in the heaping 1/3 cup serving that he has. I'm going to end up right around 13 carbs. So if he wants to add that taco sauce to the top of this, he can. And he's still the same carb count. So it's kind of awesome. You can change it up. The other thing that I like about this, okay, is that it has 17 grams of protein. So he's going to eat his 3 ounces of meat. That's a portion size for any meat that I give him. Meat, of course, not having any carbs in it unless it's a sausage and something's been added to it. But this is going to give him a little bit of extra protein in the day. With Matt doing yoga and being more active, we need to make sure that his protein and is up a little bit higher. So sometimes you got to change your diet as you go with the flow. So that's what we're doing. So I'm not going to cook this. I'm going to literally take this out of the can as it is, pour it in here, stir it in, get it all nice and mixed up in there, and then I'm going to take my 30 cup, measure it into a bag, use it in the food saver just like I did the plain rice that you guys saw earlier. So all this is going to do is give him a little bit different flavor. There's a lot of different ways that you can use this, okay? So you can just eat it as rice. It's just a side dish. You can combine it with something like this and give it some flavor, eat it by itself. You can combine it with a little bit of beans if you want rice and beans, but understand, beans, though they are a protein, are also a starch. So they're high in carbs. So you have to be careful about that count when you do those kind of combinations. Matt will also mix this with chicken and sausage and put it on a single tortilla. Because our tortilla's carb count is so low, he can afford that in a meal. And usually he eats 2 tortillas when he does it. So as long as you're making good carb choices with the items that you're purchasing, the whole point is that you don't have to give up anything. You can still eat rice and tortillas at the same time. if you want to. You just have to buy a rice that fits in your carb count and tortillas that do too. So here's what it looks like mixed up. It smells so good. All right, so I'm gonna grab my food saver bag, just like I did before. I'm gonna take that heaping 1/3 cup, put it in there, drop it, and we're gonna seal it up, and it's gonna be ready for the freezer, and he's gonna have a second alternative, which is awesome. Or not. How much does an entire bag of rice make? Right here, I have 24 bags ready to go in the freezer. Matt eats rice on average once a day. On occasion, he'll have it for 2 meals, but not very often. So essentially, I've made almost a month's worth of rice. He does eat less on the weekends. Most of the time, he takes it to work for lunch. So 1 month. I started this process this morning, and all told, with the food saver, it took me 2 hours. If I were using freezer bags, this process probably would have taken me about 30 minutes. So I'm willing to invest that hour and a half of time because, as I told you before, when he just stabs these and throws them in the microwave, the rice re-steams. So it comes out really, really nice. When you use the freezer bags, you have to pour it out into your plate, and if you've ever microwaved rice in a plate, you know it gets a little bit rubbery. So he likes the texture better, it tastes better, and it tastes fresh. So I invested an extra hour and a half. You don't have to, but that way we get a better product.